Welcome to Kid Fonque presents the Ballantine's True Music Series, an annual project that gives uncompromising artists a platform to share and experience their music. It's the last of the Kid Fonque presents Ballantine's True Music Series. Join me, Kid Fonque, as we close off the journey with an epic list of pioneering artists who are making their mark. In this session, we're chatting to the co-founders of the ongoing We House Sundays movement, Cassiem Latief, Leighton Moody, and Lawrence Dix. Combined, these guys have knowledge of house music that goes far beyond the everyday DJ set. Their passion for it has literally created a movement that not only celebrates the essence of house, but brings diverse people and cultures together. What's happening? This is Kid Fonque, and we are back in Cape Town to hang out with the We House Sundays crew and True Music Series, one of the best parties in South Africa, hands down. And we decided to not only have a party with these guys, but sit down and find out the brainchild behind what they call We House Sundays. Gents, welcome.
Yo.
How's it? I know interviews aren't your favorite things, and I'm glad that we could sit down and do this and just talk about what you guys have created. But before we do that, can you just introduce yourselves?
Sure.
Okay.
Lawrence Dix, one of 4 members of We Are Sundays. Originally from Johannesburg. Been here in Cape Town for about 8 years now. Yeah.
Leighton?
Okay, I'm Leighton Moody, known as Soul Side Up. Also been part of We House for the last 4 years. Also originally from Durban, but I've been here for 20 years. When did we meet?
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
Wow.
20 years, that's when I met him.
Okay,
And yeah, still going strong.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm Cassiem Latief. Born and bred in Cape Town. So, yeah.
Local boy.
Yeah, local boy, as you can say. So, yeah, one of the co-founders of We Are Sundays with Jens here. So, yeah.
And one more person,
There
Lisa,
is one more
yeah,
person.
there's
We're
one more
missing
person.
one
the
person.
queen.
The
Lisa,
Queen.
yes.
Where's the Queen today?
She's busy.
Busy being
That's
a
got her
mom.
hands full.
Cool. Let's
But,
just get straight into it. I've been traveling to Cape Town for many years, and I've always kind of been involved in parties that are at the City Bowl. Very few parties are outside of City Bowl that I've played at, and I never really thought that there was a deep house scene in Cape Town until I discovered We House Sundays. And not only is there a deep house scene, there's something very special that you have. And I think for most of the people that have come to your party will come and do come consistently. How did We House Sundays, how was it born?
Sure, where do we start?
Where do we
So
start?
yeah, I mean, we were all kind of actively involved, I think, in the scene in different forms.
Different events.
We used to throw events when we moved here under the Nomadic Music brand. And Leighton and them have been playing consistently over the years. And I think it was that era. Hey?
It was through ERA that we all kind of met up or crossed paths.
And that was kind of the space where we all kind of got to meet each other. Lisa was working there at the time.
I was working there.
Leighton was working there. So that was kind of the central point where we all kind of came together.
So we kind of knew about them, they knew about the gigs we were doing. We used to
Yes.
work with Floyd Levine too for Nomadic. So we'd always be checking out their parties, they would be coming and checking out ours. And then when I started working with ERA, I got to meet Lisa properly and we started talking. And that's how I got to meet them more and, started seeing them more often. And I guess also just through talking
Yeah.
and discussing the scene and realizing that there was something missing and something that we wanted to create.
Was it a lack of deep house events, or was it a lack of going to a party and feeling somewhat like a community, which you have created? So it was. So was there? I know you're all very deep into house music. Were you finding there weren't enough events in Cape Town? You're saying that
And I
you
think-
guys were promoters
I mean-
back before We House Sundays.
Yeah, we're always DJ/promoters like it's DJ/promoter/producer nowadays. But
Sure.
it's something you have to do consistently also if you want to, keep playing.
Sure.
But there was a lot of parties going down, but not for the sound of deep house, not for the more soulful stuff. I think at that time, techno was really kind of taking over the scene in Cape Town. All the clubs were getting, it was either they were going commercial, trap, or they were going techno if it was underground clubs. So there wasn't that space for us to play the kind of music that we wanted, you know. So
I think
through our
Deluxe used to kind of...
yeah, you know, there were always places in Cape Town that had that, you know, like Deluxe. But when those places are gone and there's nowhere for everyone to go to, and you're just kind of attending different venues because that's where a party is happening, you don't get that community feel, you know.
And I think that's something that keeps coming up is community.
Correct.
And I think that was the first thing when you guys booked me to play 2 years ago, I think.
Was it?
2 or 3 years ago. The
Yeah, it was
first thing
second
I
birthday.
felt was a sense of community and a sense of love and a sense of people being there for the right reasons. And as a promoter, as you said, if you're a DJ, more than likely you're going to learn promoting at some point in your life. How do you create something like you guys have got? I mean, I've been to parties, I've DJed for many, many years, and what you guys have is genuinely something very, very special. And not only is it special, it's something that DJs, all DJs that fit into the house world in South Africa want to play at. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys are constantly getting emails and people knocking at your door. Even from an international perspective, people want to play your event because of what you've created. Was there like a vision for it to be this way? And if so, how did you get it there?
Yeah, I mean, it took
a while.
You know, the first few parties, like anything, when you dive into something, you're not... I mean, I guess we had a vision, but it only kind of materializes over a period of time. So, I mean, I know you guys, I'm sure we all remember those first maybe 2-3 events, there was hardly any people there. And I think we were just always committed to seeing it through, you know. And I think being persistent and constantly kind of pushing those boundaries, eventually it just, one day it happens, you know.
How do you, it seems like there's a relationship that you have with every single person that walks through the door. Am I mistaken? I know a lot of promoters will hide away from a crowd, and it feels like everyone has an intimate relationship with the brand. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, I mean, family's always been kind
That's
of...
what people were referring it to as family before we started. So the fact that people felt that way at an event or with other people, that's where it just started developing from there. Like, people really created what it is now. We can only do so much.
Sure.
But it's really up to the people of how everything starts, you know, forming and materializing. So it's a lot of, we have a vision, we tweak it, some things won't work, and it's just this constant, you know, it's just ever changing all the time. But that was our vision, to bring people together with the music we love. There weren't a lot of venues where everyone was accepted, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say,
That's
I mean,
Cape Town,
creating a space
where people feel welcome. You don't have to dress up to, you know, get turned away at the door. That's an ongoing thing. So we wanted people who we know are into the music that we love, you know, just normal people, to have a place where they can go and be themselves and enjoy the music that we love. And we want to play to them, to those people.
It feels like you might have converted people. So people not knowing that they loved what you guys have on offer, coming to your event and converted by this special energy that you guys have going every single Sunday. It happens once a month.
Yes.
And one thing I found very, very intriguing, amazing, especially for Cape Town, is that you guys are doing a party not in Cape Town or not close to many people, and people still travel there. How does that work? Because I know Cape Town. I know people don't want to travel. I know that like going any more than 10 minutes is a mission. How did you, was that like a constant reminder, or was it just people, you creating this family that would
I think it is a challenge. You know, in the beginning, people have that mentality of Cape Town. Everything happens in the city bar. So yes, you kind of have to break that mentality in the beginning. Again, just being consistent. You know, eventually, like, people will come and then they'll tell their friends, and slowly, people are like, okay, no, let's go check it out. And it's, I mean, it's not really too far, but that is the mentality that is.
Very, very much a Cape
I think you won't say it, but the venue's got a lot to do with the Colorbox. So Colorbox is David and Lisa's baby. That's been their project for how many years now?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So that was an empty warehouse. There was nothing in there before, and it looks like you've seen what it looks like now. So that was years of them putting themselves into a venue, into a vision of a space or creating a space. So even when we were initially talking about doing something, we were deciding on what venue we're going to use, we knew that the clubs wasn't the right space for what we wanted to do. We also wanted to do something more in the daytime where people could actually socialize. We felt that was missing, where the young promoters and DJs and creatives can actually talk and meet. Whereas when you rock up at a club at 11 o'clock and the music's banging, you're not going to have that kind of interaction. But if people are chilling there on a Tuesday and they're eating and together, those kind of conversations come up and people actually get to know each other properly, you know?
Sure.
So the venue was also so inviting. It's just got a homely feel. It's got that, and that just tied in perfectly with the thing. So I think it took long to get people the idea to come out of town, but when they came to the venue, they were just like, wow. This is,
I mean, even
this
from
is
a
amazing.
venue's perspective, it's been challenging being out of the city.
Yes.
You know, just even we do private events and all kinds of stuff, but there is still that mentality of, oh, it's too far, or it's
Even
so
though it's
yes.
not even 10 minutes
you're
after.
constantly
Exactly.
challenging that
Yeah.
mentality.
And
yeah.
it feels very much like a labor of love, like a passion project that's really worked out. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it grow from strength to strength. And as I said, when we started the interview, you've had some heavyweights in your space. You've had a boiler room recording, which I saw, which completely popped off.
Yeah,
Absolute.
that blew things up.
Yeah, which I think helped your cause.
Definitely.
I know you had selection crew there, and you also kind of nurtured relationships through your venue with some big names overseas. What have been the highlights in Weha Sundays?
Well, I think first of all it was the boiler room event.
Yeah.
That was really cool, because the thing is we attracted a lot of foreigners into that event. For us as well, for the first time to see all those people come under one roof was like, wow, who are these people? And like the energy in the place, you know?
Sure.
So from there, I think a lot of people, they caught on, because it's obviously the internet's like taking everything out
Of course.
for people to see. So people are coming out, checking where this event is.
And shocked that
Yeah,
it's in Cape
and
Town.
you're getting like emails from people like, or just like in your inboxes, like, when's the next event? You don't know them, but obviously you're a promoter, so you're letting them know this is the next event. Come check it out. If you're into house music, come check it out, you know?
Sure.
Eventually they're there, dude. You won't know them, but they're saying, yeah, I emailed you.
And you start
And we are,
developing
you know.
relationships, yeah.
But that's the cool thing about it. It's like a guy in Brazil coming all the way to South Africa, and he's at your event, and you're like, wow, cool.
Yeah.
You're making feel at home, bro, you know?
Exactly, and I think that's one thing that you do well. I mean, I chat about the selection guys coming through, and it feels like it's almost something that you have to do when you travel to Cape Town. It's like a
Come
tourist attraction. You need to go and experience Weha Sundays. Who else have you had on the lineup? I know you've had Andre Lodeman
At
Monique.
Jazz.
at Jazz.
Black
Monique
Loops,
Bingham, Black Loops,
Who else has there
a lot of the local guys.
been?
Jim
Julian.
Rao.
Julian Gomes.
And then we got a lot of internationals who try to get us, or they want to be booked by Warehouse, but they don't want it anywhere else but Colorbox.
Okay.
So we say we got this festival coming up, and they're like, we kind of want to play at
So this
Colorbox.
is, I was actually going to take it there, because now your brand is so big. You're doing things with festivals. Your brand is getting taken to Rocking the Daisies, a couple of other events that I saw over December, and we did a collaboration with Ballantine's True Music series in Langa, which I know that's something that you guys have done a few times.
And Joburg.
Yes, we took it to Joburg. What's the thinking around that? I mean, what's the thinking out of taking it away from its kind of home base and moving the space?
I think, I mean, just as
Growth.
a creative, you always want to
Do new
keep kind of
things.
Push the
reinventing, you know?
boundaries.
I think if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it kind of, after a period of time, you know, people kind of look for something new. So I think the idea is, from a band's perspective, is to keep things exciting, you know? Just kind of always reinventing yourself, trying new things, collaborating, and I think just taking the brand to new spaces.
And give people new experiences.
sure.
yeah.
100%. I mean, taking the event that we did in Langa was a big collaboration. It was Ballantines, Weha Sunday, Kid Fonque Presents, and I'm glad that we're
That's
actually
huge.
doing this interview after the fact, because I usually do interviews
Before.
prior.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your experience from that? I mean, taking your brand, my brand, into a township, which is something that I find so important in South Africa. Is I just want to DJ more in townships.
Integrating all of the
Exactly, and bringing music and bringing people together with phenomenal artists. We had Sia, Charles, obviously all you guys. How was your feelings about the event?
It was amazing. I think
Yeah, we
what's
love that
important is
space.
also breaking people's misconceptions, like you say, about going into different spaces. Like feeling that if it's in certain areas you can't go there because it's unsafe. But it's not, it's just you're not familiar with it.
100%.
You know, so
There's
using
definitely that
music as the,
stigma,
So like again, a lot of these things that we want to do, we got to counteract and break a lot of stigmas and you know, people's mentality. And then when they're there, they're like, wow, never expected it to be like this, you know. And you with completely different people that you would have partied to own in Colorbox, but they all share the same sentiment, the same vibe.
And that's what
And
music
it just
does.
grows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the big question, something I get asked quite a lot, and it's something I like discussing with like-minded people, is how you maintain staying true to what you want to do. I know that you guys do exactly that. Everything that comes from We Are Sundays has been true to your guys' vision. How important is it for you to, I know it sounds cliched, but to stay true to what exactly you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important, I think. First off, just being humble as a person, I think
authentic.
goes a long way, you know. It's easy to be like, oh, the brand's cool and so, and you kind of adopt that egotistic kind of mentality. So, yeah, I think staying true to yourself and just always kind of love what you're doing, I guess. And that
think
passion kind of
Just comes through.
comes through,
I
yeah.
think like Katie Chandler said, you can't lie. What you can't lie to with the music. It's got to be authentic. Like, if you're just trying to sell something to people, eventually they're going to catch on to it and be like, it's not really what we're into. But we, like you said, we like to take the back seat and let the music kind of speak for
I was
itself.
just going to mention that the music always speaks for itself.
Always.
Yeah.
Which is why it's difficult to get you guys to come do interviews.
Yeah, let the music talk.
We got this very rare interview with We Are Sundays crew. So we did a collaboration, Ballantine's True Music Series, We Are Sundays, and Kid Fonque Presents in Langa. It was a really, really cool concept to take all our brands and take it to a township and represent what we do. What was the highlights for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think having a great lineup with Charles and Sia and yourself, and
You guys.
I think the collaboration side of things, it's always kind of unique when people come together to do unique things. Yeah, and I think, I mean, we love Gugustebe as a venue, and just what it offers culturally, you know. Langa's like the oldest township in Cape Town. So there's a lot of heritage there, there's a lot of history, yeah.
And we were able to start doing some work within the community through the event, which also just opened us up to so much more of how you can use something like the movement of We Are to make a positive difference within our own communities.
So how was that actioned?
By raising funds, by collecting stuff for people in need, especially over winter, during the winter drive, helping out the children's creche and stuff. You know, there's a lot of things within communities that need help and support, which you're not always going to get from the powers that be. A lot of times we feel helpless in that case, but we found that by using what we've built and that community feel of the brand, when we say we need help with something, everyone comes together to help. And that is really the bigger picture, that we can make a difference. You don't see it on social media and stuff like that, but that's a big thing to us too, that the whole thing of using music as a vehicle can actually lead to positive change outside of the music realm, you know, in actual, you know, in real life. So that's how the Gugustebe Langa relationship was built.
Okay.
We've had how many there now?
We had like 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lady that works at one of the creches there in Langa named Jean.
Okay.
And it's weird how the universe kind of connects you
Connected
sometimes.
us.
But we met her kind of on this journey
Oh, wow.
when we were doing our first event. And she runs a creche there. And Sham, she really needs the support. Obviously, they don't get full support from government and stuff. So she was kind of our first kind of project. And we raised a whole lot of money through the event to kind of support them on a monthly basis.
Oh, wow.
And just to help these kids kind of give them a better opportunity in what they're doing.
We definitely need more parties like you
We
guys.
kind of,
Giving back
no
to
one really
society.
knows it until now.
Yeah.
We kind of kept it all hush-hush for
I've
years.
known in the background, but I think as a
Yeah.
punter coming to your event, you would have no idea.
Yeah.
No, we don't tell people we're doing this
Yeah,
as
I
a
mean,
fundraiser or anything. We just do the event and then we do what needs to be done.
Amazing.
We think that's also what leads to making the brand.
Yeah, I
It's like
think it
giving
adds a
back
lot
to
of
them.
value and love.
It
to
comes
what we're
back to
doing,
you in other
know,
ways. I firmly
because
believe
it's kind
that.
of a
And I think that's exactly what I was saying earlier or later. Was
Yeah. Part one and
the
two.
passion that you guys have, you can really see it.
Comes through.
Yeah.
Thanks. Cheers with the water, Kaz, our front show.
cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers with your water.
Cheers, finally.
Oh my
eh?
eyes.
Thanks.
That's a wrap from me and the True Music series brought to you by Ballantine. Thanks for joining us and our uncompromising artists. Remember to continue supporting and taking a stand for true music. For more on Kid Fonque Presents the Ballantine's True Music series, check out Kid Fonque on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
So let me tell you the power of this music.
It's what I live for.
It's a connection.
It's positive energy.
Ready for the ride?
I'll see you in the queue.
Kukho okufana nalo mlingani.
This sound is worth fighting for.
We hear you people. We're standing up for true music.
Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy responsibly.
And it's gotten to the point. It's sad to think. And it's gotten to the point. It's sad to think. And it's gotten to the point. It's sad to think. 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 It's sad to think.
soul. So move your body from now to go. We bring the music to take the soul. So move the body from now to go. We bring the music to take the soul. So move your body from now to go.
Mama, sakidila tilia yo. Wene watalio kazize.
This message will not be televised. You will not hear it on Fox 5. It will not be on mainstream media because it's too raw, uncut, hardcore. They came to the Floetress with this Gil Scott Heron disc and said, we need you to deliver this raw, uncut, hardcore. Exposing the sheep from the goat, the cutthroats, the snatching pocketbook folks, the car thieves, the crooked police. I'm exposing your ass to corruption from these we are told to trust. Raw, uncut, hardcore. Good women pushed to the side. I'd rather die dignified, glorifying hoes, sliding down poles. No respect for your own body, but expect a man to uphold brainwash behavior. And it don't matter how good the money. You're playing roulette with your body, honey. See, we already been scrutinized, disrespected and victimized, brought here based on lies. They can't even understand the tears we cried. Refuse to accept responsibility for taking our ancestors' lives. We were smart enough to build this land and can't even get a helping hand. Pay attention to the results of the revolution. The continued hate from some folks that made the Constitution. Fake president elections, politicians with suspicions and doomed by their own omissions. The haters, the perpetrators, the false legislators, the down low black haters. Raw, uncut, hardcore. The revolution will not be televised because they introduced dope, coke, crack to the throat, brought over guns, raped our daughters and killed our sons, taught us this bullshit we didn't even know. And some of us became so blinded, the results of the revolution is the only thing we know. Uncut, hardcore. The hate women share toward one another is deep. Jealousy, envy, unnecessary conceit. Yet you claim you want a God sheep. The sisterhood is now rejected, and there was a time when it was much respected. Uncut, hardcore. Shame to those who weren't born insane, but allowed drugs to destroy the brain. The ratchet, the lazy, the don't want to work having baby after baby. Some of the reason why they justify treating us so goddamn shady. So we all receive the condescending title. Low life, dim folks, ain't going nowhere, hanging on the corner jokers. You people, disrespecting the illegals, gang banging. It's time to unite. Let me repeat that line. Gang bangers, it's time to unite. Put down those guns and stop the black on black crime. Our ancestors turning over in their graves, broken hearted on what they went through and how we behave. Bringing down the neighborhood, smiling like we understood. Picking fights over drugs, scheming with thugs. Setting up your friends you claim you love. In jail snitches. For little snacks you become bitches. Raw, uncut, hardcore. This will not be televised. You will not see this on Fox 5 because it's too raw, uncut, hardcore. Raw, uncut, hardcore.
This is a letter to your ex. You left your broken heart at my house. Come get your shit. Come get your shit. Come get your shit. This is a letter to your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, who happened to leave their broken heart at your house. Tell them to come get their shit. Yes, I understand that you were once in love and that it made sense to be together, that you went out on dates and you held hands and at some point you thought you were gonna be together forever, but that's gone. That's gone. Things have ended like XYZ. This is a letter to your ex. Come get your shit. I don't want it. Come get your shit. I don't need it. Come get your shit. Come get your shit. Come get your shit. This is an understanding that we are no longer together. There is no forever. That I may possibly be with someone else. That I do not want to come back like callbacks or spend time with you anymore. I get the fact that I told you that you were the only girl that I loved. You were the only girl that I wanted to be with. But that's over now. But that's over now. Come get your shit. Come get your shit. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't need it. Come get your shit. Come get your. Come get your. There is nothing more frustrating than the ex that doesn't get the picture. WhatsApp messages. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How have you been? I was just thinking about you. I don't need that shit. I don't want your WhatsApp messages. I don't want you thinking about me. I don't want you saying that you miss me. I don't need that call back or to meet again for more drinks and lunch. We did that. I'm doing that with someone else. This is a letter to your ex. Come get your shit. 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 I know what you're thinking. This is a bit harsh. But you don't understand. When you move on, you move on. You act like this beat, you move on. So this is a letter to your ex. Whether you have an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend, an ex-whatever, tell them, come get your shit. Come and get your shit. Cause I don't need it. I don't want it. It does not need to exist within my periphery. I do not need this broken heart resting in my house while I'm entertaining guests. Come. Get. Yo. Shit. Cause I don't want it. I don't need to multiply it. Put it in figures. Think about it. I don't need to touch it or have it in my thoughts of contorting ideas. I need to be very clear-minded because the next person I meet I plan to keep so you can excuse yourself, expel yourself, exercise the demon that is your ex and exit. I will exercise you like the exorcism of exes. This is a letter to your ex. You left your broken heart in my house. Come and get your shit. I do not need it.
I need is a cup of whatever's hot in the morning. It's the only one. It's the only one. It's the only one I need. All I need is a cup of whatever's hot in the morning. That glass of whatever's good in the life. That kind of music that my body cannot resist dancing to. It's the only one. It's the only one. It's the only one I need. The kind of music that my body cannot resist dancing to. It's the only one. It's the only one. It's the only one I need. All I need is a cup of whatever's hot in the morning. The kind of music that my body cannot resist dancing to. That glass of whatever's good in the life. It's the only one. It's the only one. It's the only one I need.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know, you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. Like a splinter in your mind. Driving like mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want to know what it is? It is all around us. You have to let it all go. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. feeling that has brought you to me. Like a splinter in your mind.
beats in the morning and I am alone again. I'm catching me falling and I am alone again. He left in the morning while winter was calling, and I keep restoring, I keep recalling him. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. There's nobody but you. Nobody else. Nobody but you. Nobody else. There's nobody but you. Nobody else. There's nobody but you. Nobody. Romance in the evening, the stars are deceiving me. 'Cause I kept believing that he wouldn't leave me. So I died at candlelit dinners, at abandoned tables. And I keep restoring, I keep recalling him. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. Deep breaths, let go. There's nobody but you. Nobody else. There's nobody but you. Nobody else. There's nobody else. Ooh. Nobody else. No. Nobody. I'm tired
everybody was having a good time. There was no pretension. You know, it was a love and a unity. For the music, we would get down. Every race, creed, and color. All my sisters and my brothers, we would get down to the funky sound. Whatever happened to those days when we would celebrate life? After the 9 to 5, a busy week, we would go to the club and move our feet to the beat. When you felt down and out and no one was there to be by your side, you would go to the paradise and you would just have a good time with your friends. In the unity among one, we would get down and celebrate life.